the listing description, that's usually 3 to 4 sentences, right? Well, this study that was done over a 3-year period discovered some fascinating details. These are some phrases, some common words that agents will put into a listing with full intent in order to help the sale, in order to sell it faster or maybe for more money, but it actually can hurt things. Watch this. Here we go. Number 1. Motivated seller. In other videos, you may hear me talk about finding these people. Putting that phrase in the listing description proved a lower sales price and a longer time on market from this study. Simply adding these 2 words didn't help the situation, it hurt the situation. Pretty fascinating, huh? So what's the lesson? Don't put that in the listing. There's no benefit to it. There's only downside to it. There you go. Number 2. Here's another phrase that's used quite a bit, but is actually a negative. Goodbye. It was proven that when this phrase was added to a listing, it sold for less money. Simply these 2 words. Fascinating, isn't it? I mean, obviously this was a very thorough study over many, many years, and certainly there are extenuating circumstances, but this phrase right here doesn't help. Here's another one. This one's gonna perhaps surprise some of you. Vacant. This was negatively correlated with sales price. So adding the word vacant actually hurts your sales price at the end. Why? Well, again, these authors of this study don't know exactly why all of this is the way it is. They just studied it and figured out this is what would happen. So perhaps when people say the phrase vacant, they see desperate. They assume that you can offer less. That's important. So do you put the word vacant in your listing? No, you don't need to. They're going to figure that out anyways when they go to the house, right? So you don't need to add the word vacant to the actual listing description. All right, here's another one. This one I think is really exciting. Repairs. So let's say you are a real estate investor and you just fully rehabbed a house. Maybe you write on the thing major rehabs, or excuse me, major repairs, or recent repairs done to the property, and then maybe you list them. It was discovered that using the word repairs was correlated with a longer time on market and a lower sales price. However, if the phrase updated was used, it sold for more money. So the authors seem to think that perhaps the word repairs doesn't associate with improvement in the property, whereas the word updated does, or updates. So if you have repaired a house, do not call them repairs. Freshly updated might be a good way to phrase it. In fact, even describing that you did a major rehaul of the property may not be a positive way to communicate it, whereas freshly updated might be, or maybe not even saying anything at all, and just describing the home, as I'll talk about here in a moment, with a lot of emotion. Not even mentioning the fact you did a lot of work to it, but just mentioning how wonderful the home is. And let the pictures do the talking for you. Does that make sense? So don't use the word repairs. That's a bad one. Okay, and then this one right here, I've used before, before I read this study. Good location. Yeah. This was correlated or associated with the lower sales price as well. So, for whatever reason, using the phrase good location has a negative result. So, therefore, I guess because location is self-evident in real estate. I mean, the people looking for the house would know the location or they'd go and see it. So, what are these 5 tips really? They're tips on what not to add as far as listing description words in those remarks, and that is, don't put motivated seller, don't put goodbye, don't put vacant property, don't put repairs, but add things like freshly updated, or maybe nothing at all there, and just let the pictures do the talking for you as far as how beautiful the home is, and don't put good location. All right, so that's what not to do, right? So what do you do? Okay, well,